Hi everyone, this is Anas and you watching my reaction to a crime story. So, don't waste the time, let's go.
Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we are going to take a look at another real story with you. What's happening these days is concept of digital arrest. Here's an example. You get a call and then you're told over a video call that you're under arrest. On the other side of the call, there's someone dressed as a police officer in full uniform with the police logo in the background. Then they say you've been caught for something, maybe for making illegal international calls, or that the parcel addressed to you had drugs in it, or that you were watching adult content online. They can use any excuse. Then they say you're under arrest, and the shocking part is that the person on the call actually believes it and sits there like a fool, accepting their arrest over the phone. They say, don't move, stay right where you are. And just like that, you're considered arrested over the phone. And whose name comes up? The police, because it looks like the police are the ones making the arrest. These scammers even dress up in police uniforms, damaging the reputation of the police. We've all heard stories of scams before, but the one I'm about to tell you today is different. In almost every scam case you've heard, somewhere or the other, you can see the negligence of government system, the police, or other departments. It shows how someone was fooled for so long. Sometimes the scammer even pretends to be a judge, and no one has any idea from the registrar to the higher-ups whether the judge is real or fake. Fake police officers, fake officials, they're all out there pretending and nobody knows the truth. Even people pretending to be senior officers from the Prime Minister's office, PMO, and still no one verifies who they are, what department they belong to, or what they actually do in the PMO. These scammers take advantage of that too. They openly run their scam operations right around us. In Gujarat's Gandhinagar, there's a shopping type area. There's a particular alley inside that shopping center. To get to that spot, you have to go up a staircase to the first floor. And as soon as it gets close to 9 o'clock, people start lining up near the staircase. A few men in black coats roam around downstairs. If you look at the scene, it feels like you're standing outside a courtroom, like a film set designed to look like a court. Then, exactly at 10 o'clock, a man stands outside a door on the first floor and, acting like a court orderly, starts calling out names. As soon as someone hears their name, they quickly look around to find their lawyer. Even the lawyer comes rushing in saying, "Come on, your hearing is here." And both of them rush into that room like it's a real court appearance. When you enter the room, the scene is completely different. It looks exactly like the real courtroom. There are benches for people to sit. Lawyers are seated, and in front sits the judge. Below the judge, there's an orderly. It's a fully set-up courtroom. Then the trial proceedings begin. Lawyers from both sides present their arguments, evidence, and witnesses. After everything is done, a new date is scheduled. Some cases have already had multiple hearings, and now it's time for the verdict. Those are also being handled in that courtroom. Afterwards, when the court hours end in the evening, a little while later, the judge changes out of his robe and clothes. Then he walks down the stairs from his so-called courtroom. As he comes down, he sees the lawyers and clients from the hearings still waiting outside. One of them quietly runs up to him and says, "Sir, what about the verdict? Please take a look." They take him to a corner and say, "Okay, I'll give you the decision, but you understand." The person gets the hint and offers a bribe to the judge. He takes it and then leaves in his car. Then, when it was time for the verdict, the judge would formally announce the decision, for example, that a case should be settled within a year. In places like Vadodara, Gandhinagar, and Ahmedabad, this judge had delivered judgments in over 500 cases. And all 500 of these cases were related to land disputes involving properties worth millions and even billions. In some cases, the land was valued at 2 billion. This fake court had been running since 2019 in Gandhinagar. At one point, the court scene looked completely real. Crowds of people, lawyers walking around, even police officers present. People would compare it with their city courts like the district court or sessions court, wondering, what is this? Is this also a real court? Their land disputes were being resolved, and even the police would avoid getting involved, thinking, it's a court, why mess with the judge? They didn't bother to inspect or verify anything. And that fake court kept operating just like that. From 2019 to 2024, for 5 whole years it continued running. No one knows how many verdicts were given in those 5 years. Then one day, a man whose land was needed by a government department, the local municipal corporation, for some work, ran into a dispute. The matter escalated between the landowner and the corporation. Eventually, the case reached this fake judge. He heard the case and gave a verdict. And the man who claimed ownership of the land said, "Look, my land is worth around 2 billion. Here's the deal after the court's verdict. Give you 1% of that value and also cover the other expenses." The fake judge agreed and said, "I'll give the verdict." He then ruled in favor of that man and against the corporation, declaring him the rightful owner of the land. The land was handed over to him. That poor guy, thinking the judgment was real, started arranging the money and even began paying the fake judge. Now that man goes to the municipal corporation officers and says, "Sir, the judgment came in my favor. This land is mine now, so please vacate it." When the senior officers at the corporation saw the verdict, they were stunned. They looked at the court order and were shocked. Usually, in land dispute cases, the judgments clearly mention details like the area, boundaries, and other specifications. But this one was only 5 lines long. It didn't describe the area or give any specific details. It simply said, "This person is now the owner of the land, and your rights are terminated." That's it. The corporation officers immediately became suspicious, wondering what kind of verdict this even was. They investigated the matter and went to the main court. They showed the document to the registrar. There wasn't even an official stamp on it. The registrar took a look and grew suspicious. He asked, "Where is this judgment from?" Then it was revealed that a courtroom setup had been created inside a shopping center with an orderly dressed as a judge, people in black coats acting as lawyers, benches, a witness box, arguments, evidence, witnesses, everything was staged. Even the court timings were followed. But the reality was, neither was the person a real judge, nor was it a real court, nor were the verdicts legitimate. Not even the paperwork was genuine. Yet fake judgments were being delivered as if everything was legal. When the truth came out, the registrar ordered action, and on October 2nd, an arrest warrant was issued. On October the 22nd, that so-called judge was arrested. When he was brought before the actual court, he kept insisting, even while standing in the courtroom, "I'm a judge. Judges respect one another. You should show me respect. And these police officers are thugs. They even beat me up. They assaulted a judge." He kept claiming to be a judge to the very end. But after a full investigation, it was revealed that he had completely fooled the entire system, and not just for a few days, but for 5 whole years. Since 2019, he had been running his own fake court. He kept delivering his own judgments, and no one had the slightest clue. No one even looked in that direction. His name was Morris Christian. He was from Gujarat, born and raised there. From the beginning, he had a strong desire to become a rich man. He wasn't particularly good at studies, and early on, he picked up a bad habit, borrowing money. He took loans from countless friends, neighbors, and relatives. When those people started pressuring him to repay, he left his home. He moved to another city and disappeared for several years. After many years, he returned to his original home. His family and neighbors were shocked and asked where he had been. He told them, "I went to a foreign country, studied there, and got a law degree. This degree is valid in every court in India, and I can argue any case anywhere. Not everyone gets this degree, it's only given to very capable students." His family and neighbors believed him and thought, "Wow, he's become such a successful man." After telling this story, he disappeared again. Sometime later, in early 2019, an opportunity arose when the Gujarat High Court had a large backlog of land dispute cases. The number of case files was piling up, so the court decided that many of these cases could be resolved through mutual understanding. They didn't require long hearings, dates, lawyers, evidence, or witnesses. So the court decided that for such cases, where there seemed to be a chance of compromise from both sides, a mediator would be appointed. Certificates were issued, and some lawyers were selected to act as mediators. These mediators would change every year. The mediator's job was to sit with both parties, see where a final deal could be made, help them reach a settlement, and then submit a final paper to the court saying both parties agreed and the matter was resolved. The judge would then stamp and close the case. This saved the court a lot of time. This scheme was launched in 2019, and many lawyers were appointed as mediators. Morris also heard about this. He saw it as an opportunity, a chance. He thought, what could be better than this? So he created fake documents and falsely claimed to be a court-appointed mediator. Just like that, he became a mediator, at least on paper. The idea was that people who came to court with such cases would be referred to mediators. But Morris didn't even wait for the court to assign him any case. Why should he? After all, he was already fake. So he made a plan if he could become a fake mediator, which is already half a judge. Why not go all the way and become a full judge? Why not set up his own courtroom, his own court, and give his own judgments? So he rented a room in Gandhinagar. And he was so confident in people's ignorance that he believed no one would even realize what a real court looks like, where courts are actually held, or what an official court campus is like. He knew courts aren't set up inside malls or shopping centers, but still, he believed people would come. So he rented a space inside a shopping center and completely transformed the room. Created a courtroom setup with proper decor and layout. He hired a few people, telling one, "You'll be the orderly," another, "You'll be a lawyer," and so on. He even spent money on these people to make it all look convincing. Then he got hold of a list of cases that were eligible for mediation, mostly land disputes and property divisions. He started sending people there and summoning them one by one for hearings in his fake court. He would say, "Come, we'll give you a judgment." From some people, he took money in the name of delivering a verdict. From others, he took money afterward, claiming it was part of the settlement amount. And just like that, a fake court was born, and it continued delivering judgments. People kept coming. They say that in 1 year alone, at its peak, he handled around 500 cases. Over the course of 5 years, the total number of cases crossed over 1,000. And the shocking part is that, in many of those land dispute cases, both parties are still happily sitting at peace, completely unaware that the verdict they received was fake and has no legal value or recognition. According to them, the judge has already given the verdict. The real problem now is, what is the legal standing of those 1,000+ decisions? Each case will have to be reviewed and verified individually because Morris had completely messed up the system through his fake courtroom. The turning point came when a verdict regarding a $2 billion government-owned land triggered an investigation. That's when the fake court was shut down and locked. Morris is currently under arrest, and people say he's extremely clever. Who knows, after release, he might move to a new city and set up another fake court all over again. That's the risk, and since the arrest happened just on October 22nd, 2024, all the documents and fake judgments are now being reviewed. This has become a major headache. Many people had already accepted those judgments happily and peacefully. But now it's like a mountain is about to fall on them. They're left wondering, now what? Will everything be redone from scratch? One important point to think about, which I mentioned earlier, is that there are some very basic things we all know, yet we ignore them. Somewhere we easily fall for traps. No real court ever operates inside a mall, a shopping center, a school, a college, or next to a movie theater. And yet, people fell for it. And nowadays digital scams are in trend. A senior officer once said there's one main reason. Most people who get caught in digital scams fall into 2 categories. 1, those who have some guilt or fear that they might have done something wrong and are scared of being exposed or shamed. 2, people who haven't done anything wrong, but the fear of being arrested, the thought that police might come and take me right now. What will my neighbors think? What will happen to my reputation makes them panic and quietly go along. And that's exactly the fear scammers exploit. But if we keep our eyes, ears, and minds open, we can easily protect ourselves from such fraudsters. Hopefully, with awareness, fake courts and scams like this will never happen around us again. Stay informed and stay alert.
So this is so shocking case. I hope like this. So like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.